Hello, my name is Michael Souza. This is Jogos no Tabuleiro YouTube channel, a channel that I do to address modern board games in Portuguese language. So it's a Portuguese speaking YouTube channel. In this case, I open an exception and I do this video to share some of my favorite games of the year with my English speaking colleagues. So I will talk about the 6 games that I enjoyed the most from last year, 2024, and I'll do this in a very short video, making it shorter than the regular Portuguese videos. So let's go to number 6. Number 6 is Stephens, which is a Portuguese game done by Portuguese authors, and that is a game about the historical process of the glass industry in a city nearby my home, that is Marinha Grande. And in this game, it's quite a short game for this type of economic Euro game. You play it in, I would say, 1 hour, and there's a lot of interactions between the players, interactions that help you build your engine building, and interactions that help you to get the resources to do contracts and all the regular stuff that you can see in a Euro game. In this case, I would say that it's historically very correct and accurate, and very based on what was the history of this specific Portuguese historical event. I think it's great. It's a great game, the best game from Costa and Rola, that are Portuguese authors, and I highly recommend it. Number 5 for me is Risafa, a game from Vladimir Suhi, which in my opinion it's one of the best Euro game designers of the world. I didn't expect, but in reality I didn't expect a lot about this game, but it was fantastic. So the way it does the trading with the camels over the map, where you influence the prices, the bonus, that you will pick some goods in a place and trying to sell them in another place will affect the prices for the other players. So some player interaction in the way we collect and manage the water of the city, also interesting, and very engaging the engine building system, where you need to balance the way you place your buildings and your gardens. And I thought it was very clever, and the way it's mechanically, so you mechanically do the actions. You have a set of cards that you play them, you can have multiple uses for the cards, you can define the scoring system, and you can even change the cards. So very, very interesting Euro game. Number 4 for me, it's Seven Empires. It's a game from Mark Gertz that implements a system that is similar to Imperial, which is maybe one of his most famous games, which is a game about economy and backstabbing and manipulating prices of national public debts. In this case, it's a similar system, but with some different Euro game mechanics that allow you to create what I would say as a system where you have several possibilities to score, and where you will share more of the influence in each of the empires, making it more, I'll say, interactive and more prone to negotiation. So we'll negotiate with the players that have some influence with that empire, and we'll try to convince them to do specific tasks that are best for your strategy and for your scoring system. So I think it was great. I think it won't replace Imperial, but I think it's an excellent game to have, and I love the experiences that it provided to me. Number 3 for me, it's 44 BCE. This is a game that is framed the historical events after the assassination of Julius Caesar, and with the born of the start of the Roman Empire. In this case, you play as one player as the emperor, and all the others will try to get the power for themselves, making coalitions, making negotiations, but they might lie and they might not do what they promised, just to collect personal rewards and to be on top of the other players that supposedly were their allies. And this is fantastic because it combines some Eurogame mechanics that allow you to create an engine building where you are managing resources, but you are always trying to use your resources to be on top of the other players, trying to manipulate them and use the resources in the best way that will allow you to score and to earn the majorities, because it's a game that you are trying to earn majorities for the three political, social and economic dimensions of the empire. And I think it's very curious to see these interactions between the players in this variety of play experiences in something that is historical framed. Number two, it's Arcs. I love Cole Earwell's games. This one is fantastic because I think it's genius how he was able to use the trick-taking mechanic to build a game about exploration, extermination, expansion, and economic development. A game that is like science fiction. It's a spatial game where you are trying to dominate your galaxy. It's a game with a lot of conflict, very in-your-face conflict and very direct conflict, where when you start the game, you are immediately in conflict with the other players, which is great when you want to experience this type of games. It's not as asymmetric as Root, not even close. So you get a faction and you have a specific power-up or specific ability, but you all play the same game system. So I think it was very interesting how it was done. It's not, for me, not as good as Root, so it's impossible not to compare. But I think it's very clever the way it does this. It's faster, it's easier to learn, and I like the theme. I like the science fiction, the spatial thing, and I really like the art, and I really like the game system, and it was for me one of the best of the year for sure. And for me the best one is Andromeda's Edge, which is really like an hybrid between American games and Euro games, where you are trying to control this galaxy, this universe. You are using your ships to control them, to activate these places, to interact with the other players, to fight the aliens and to fight the other players for dominance. There's no extermination, so you will not eliminate and destroy the players, but you will affect them for sure. But the other stuff that is really interesting is, after you do this allocation of the ships and trying to control the universe, then you need to take them back to your system, like your empire, your civilization, and activate it like you are doing in Euro game with worker placement that allows you to activate a fascinating engine building that allow you to produce more resources, that allow you to go back into the war, interact with the other players, explore a lot of options. You have technology developments, you have spaceships you can improve. There's a lot of things here. I love this deluxe version with all the components, the 3D elements that makes a spectacular space presence. So you see it and you are immediately engaged to start to move the pieces and play with them. So for me, one of the best of the year. Quite expensive, but yeah, we have a lot in this box. So these were my top 6 games of the year. I hope that this video was useful in any way. Again, sorry for my English. I'm doing my best here to share my opinions and to engage with the community that doesn't speak Portuguese, and some of them that I know that follow the channel. So thank you, and play a lot of games, and I'm always curious to know your opinion. So bye bye.